Welcome back, family. So, long story short, I have invested a lot of cash into various types of camera gear over the years. And today I wanted to talk about one of the favorite pieces of gear that I have bought in recent memory, specifically lighting gear, and that is the Aperture Amaran P60c. We're going to do kind of a deep dive into the P60c lights, specifically the 3-light setup that they sell for about $990 at the time of filming. And if you're a content creator, enthusiast, influencer, or anything else kind of in that realm, and you're looking for one of the most versatile lighting setups ever, I think that this is kind of a one-stop shop for most people. So I'm gonna break down why I think the P60c kit is phenomenal and a home run by Aperture, and you can make up your mind from there. First, we'll talk about some of the features. So the P60c kit really packs a huge punch with a wide range of features that are both intuitive and very effective. Each light is not only bicolor, but also full RGB, giving you a wide spectrum of use cases for these lights, with that RGB capability coming in super clutch with several effects like party lights, police lights, paparazzi, and a lot of other fun ones. And this versatility really allows for a lot of creative and easy lighting setups in a compact package. So all of your lights, power, and included softboxes all fit into one single bag that you can throw in the car with your stands, and you're ready to go for most simple content creation setups. And compared to a more traditional Bowens mount style light, you're really saving a lot of room and setup time. And while the softboxes that do come with the lights work well for certain uses, they even have umbrella mounts so that you can add another nicer layer of diffusion to these and really get an elevated look and kind of recreate some of that beauty lighting that you would see from a larger, more kind of softbox type setup. That's one of my favorite features of these lights. Speaking of compact form factor and easy setup, I think the P60c is a big win-win here. The lights are very easy to learn, simple to set up, and they offer truly professional looking results once you learn how to use them effectively. And that compact form factor really makes them ideal for small studios and shooting environments like on-location shoots where space matters a lot. And they can also be powered by NPF style batteries so that you can use them entirely without cables, which is a huge plus. And they aren't perfect for every scenario, more on that later, but for things like YouTube videos, simple interviews, and other faster paced productions, they really can punch way above their weight class. One of the big features that I think deserves its own section is the app control via Sidus Link. So after you're all set up on Sidus Link, you can adjust your brightness, color temperature, and even create custom lighting effects right from your phone or tablet, which is kind of insane. And this is huge for people like me that are a one-man band running around a lot on set alone. And rather than adjusting each light one by one and running back to my camera and seeing the effect it has on my image, I can do all that from my phone while I'm looking at the camera so that I can see that in real time. Next thing I want to move on to is the build quality. And Aperture as a company is kind of known for this. You know, all of their lights have a really nice build and kind of robust nature to them. And the P60c is, I think, a testament to that. And while they aren't the most heavy duty and they do have a mostly plastic build, you know, like the other Amaran lights, I do think that they're still very durable and they do feel very high quality. And specifically, they have a very nice weight to them. They have a very nice heft to them. And I did notice this as soon as I took them out of the box. And I think if I did have to nitpick maybe one thing, it would be that they don't have a yoke on them. So you do have to mount the light via a single 1/4-inch screw with a bracket that they provide, and it's a nice metal mount and it's included with the lights, and it does feel nice enough, but it would have been nicer to me to have a proper yoke that lets you adjust them and control them a bit easier. However, you would lose some of that compact form factor with that, so it's kind of a give some, take some situation. Finally, we'll talk value. So to me, the P60c kit honestly delivers insane performance without breaking the bank. And don't get me wrong, these lights are not cheap, but for what you spend and for what you get, I think it's a great trade-off. And for anyone looking to elevate their production quality without overspending and without building out a huge kit with lots of cases and bags, this single contained kit does offer a lot of value for the money. And you can get the 3-light kit for about $990 right now at the time of filming. I bought mine at Black Friday for about $800. I'll put the exact amount on the screen. But for a lot of my needs, these lights work nearly perfect. And they're some of the best lights that I've ever used. And when I don't need the full horsepower of lights like my 200X or my 300C, these really fill that gap and fit that bill super well. One more thing, I do want to quickly talk about who I think these lights are for and who I think that they aren't for. So while the P60c kit does excel in many areas, there are of course some trade-offs, especially when compared to larger, more traditional Bowens mount style lights that you should definitely consider before just jumping the gun and buying these as your main lighting kit. I do realize that money is a big deal, especially these days, And purchases like these can be hard to come by and hard to save up for, so I just want you to spend your money in a wise way. The P60c lights are compact and portable, but they of course will not match the raw power output of something like a 120D, a 200X, etc. So if you do need extremely high brightness for maybe larger sets or a very specific lighting scenario, a more traditional, larger, and powerful light is probably more suitable for that situation. Another thing to think about is modifier compatibility. So Bowens mount lights typically have a much wider range of modifiers, things like large softboxes, lanterns, beauty dishes, etc. And while the P60c lights do offer some modifier options like their own smaller dedicated softboxes and a way to mount umbrellas, it may not be best for your use case just depending on what you're doing. The P60c really shines though in scenarios where portability, ease of use, and especially color versatility are key. So for people like content creators working in smaller studios, people filming on location or in fast-paced environments, or for people like influencers that need a quick and flexible lighting solution that they can set up and tear down easily, I think that those groups will benefit the most. Ultimately, whether or not these lights are going to be right for you is really just going to depend on your specific needs and your shooting style. If you're considering these lights, I'm assuming you have a pretty good idea of the work that you do and the content that you're wanting to create. So you can go from there along with the information I've given you to make a good decision. And I'll tell you this, there's been many scenarios where I haven't used these lights as just their own kit. I've actually used them with my bigger lights in more of a supporting role. So there's many different ways that these can play with larger lights as well. And I think they're a good buy all around. They're very capable, they're very feature rich. I think that they come in at a great price for what they are, and they are made to last. So I think that these are a great addition to any kit, and I think that you'll find a use for them for sure. Just to put the cherry on top and to put my money where my mouth is, I will say this also, this video was entirely shot with the 3-piece P60c lighting kit, with the exception of the lamp in my living room back here. That is just a simple practical that's kind of meant to make this little set a little more homey. But other than that, this is purely P60c. So I've got my main key right here at about 45 degrees off to my right. And that is just obviously giving me a nice key light on my face. I've got an umbrella paired with it to give it a nice and soft kind of beauty lighting look. I think it's at about 70% right now, set at 3200 Kelvin to match my living room lamp. And then I've got the other two over here. I've got one kind of shooting a kind of hair light, giving me a little bit of a rim here, giving me some shoulder lights, separating me from that background a little bit. And then I've also got one more shooting into the room to create more of an ambient fill. So that lamp back there does not create a lot of light. It's pretty dim, especially when you're talking about lighting a video. So this light is kind of meant to fill the room and simulate more of that ambient glow that that lamp could be creating. It's just to kind of help motivate that practical a little bit. And both of these lights just have the included built-in soft boxes that come with the P60c to help soften things up a little bit. I know this video isn't anything super crazy from a visual standpoint or anything like that, but I do think it looks pretty good given that I'm using 3 just simple LED panels to light it. So let this video kind of be a testament to what they can do for simple content creation uses. And look, don't be afraid to use these for something like a narrative project or a documentary project. You can totally do a full interview setup with these lights. You don't always need the craziest horsepower. You don't always need the biggest, most beautiful soft boxes. Sometimes you can really get the job done very simple when you know what you're doing, when you know the fundamentals, and you can get really, truly effective results. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and checking this one out. We experienced a lot of growth on the channel last year and in the first half of this year so far, and I want to keep the ball rolling. I know I'm a broken record at this point. I've got a lot of client work. I've got a lot of other stuff that I'm keeping up with, and it's just personally really hard for me to juggle being consistent with this, but I want to try and get better at it. And I appreciate you guys for hanging on, and I appreciate the ones that come back and check everything out. Let's definitely start some conversation in the comments as well. Let me know how you guys felt about the video. Let me know if you guys have tried these lights or if you're looking at them, anything like that. I do love to hear from you guys and kind of share our opinions in the comments and stuff like that. And while you're there, leave me a subscription so that we can keep the family growing. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. It really means the world to me when you guys come and check out the channel. And I'm super excited to release more content throughout the summer and beyond. And let me know what else you want to see. I'll be back soon.